let me explain what is Shraddha here. Shraddha is called special karma. If we go by the definition of Shraddha from the scriptures, Shraddhaya kritam sampaditam idam, or Shraddhaya diyate yasmat tat shraddham, or Shraddhartham idam shraddham, or it is also written Shraddhaya idam shraddham. So this word Shraddha has come from Shraddha. Shraddha means faith. So Shraddha is called a special action performed in reverence for the purpose of the deceased ancestors, with faith, with love. That is what is Shraddha. Sage Parashar has explained in scripture, Deshe kale cha patre cha vidhina havisha cha yat tilaihi darbhaischa mantraischa shraddham syat shraddhaya yutam. The deeds performed by havishyadi offerings, offering of sesame, yava, the barley, and kusha grass, in proper place and time, chanting mantras with devotion is known as Shraddha. If you read Brahma Purana, Deshe kale cha patre cha vidhina havisha cha yat Pitrun uddishya viprebhyo dattam shraddham udahartam. The food that is given to Brahmins for the purpose of ancestors with faith in a proper place and time is known as Shraddha. So this is how it is called Shraddha. Now what happens that when the soul leaves the physical body for 13 days, it remains in the environment of earth. After that, it goes to the higher plane towards the Pitru loka. And after 17 days, it reaches the abode of Yama, the Lord of Death. There also, journey continues because it's not just reaching there and immediately getting entry. So it takes 11 months when the soul is presented in front of Lord of Death for its, you can say, judgment or account, settling the account that where it should be sent. It should be sent to heaven or hell. These are all subtle planes of existence. According to karma, the mind and subtle body suffers there, not the soul. So approximately this journey of soul to the next plane, which is known as Pitraloka, from Bhu to Bhuva Loka, in other words, it takes normally 12 months. And that is why every month we do Shraddha after death. And every year there is offering or ritual of Shraddha done for the departed soul. Now, during this period of 13 days, also there is Pindadana, and very elaborately it is performed by the qualified priests. And it is the process of reminding the soul that you are dead and you should move to the next plane. What is that procedure? I will not go into detail, but just to give you some outline, every day after the death, a Pindadan is done. One rice ball is offered. So for the first 10 days of offering rice balls, the formation of astral body or subtle body takes place. 11th and 12th day, other limbs of the astral body are formed. And on the 13th day, astral body departs to higher plane, and that day food is offered to the attendants of Lord Yama, who are taking the soul to Pitraloka. And the fourth portion of food is also given for the departed soul. When we offer these 10 pindas in the first 10 days, so Garuda Purana, 5th book, 30 and verse number, 5th chapter, verse number 33 to 37, it has complete explanation that offering of Pindadana on first 10 days after death, it forms the subtle body. The first Pinda, rice ball we offer, it forms the face of the spirit, which is called Preta. Second Pinda forms the eyes, ears and nose. Third Pinda forms neck, shoulders, arms and chest. Fourth Pinda forms the navel, genitals and anus. The fifth Pinda forms thighs, knees and feet. Sixth Pinda forms all the joints, we call it Marmasthal. Seventh Pinda forms the nervous system. The eighth Pinda forms the teeth and hairs. Ninth Pinda forms the sperm. 10th Pinda creates hunger, thirst and completeness in spirit body. So this is the 10th, and then on 11th and 12th day we offer elaborate Shraddha, and 13th day is the final Shraddha we do, when the soul completely comes to this knowledge that it has left the physical body, it is dead and now it has to go to further journey. According to Brahma Purana, as we discussed, that the food which is offered to qualified Brahmins or priests in the name of ancestors is known as Shraddha, and they are taking this oblation for the ancestors. Now Pitru loka is considered to be the higher plane than ours, because ours is here, Bhuloka, and Bhuva Pitru loka is above. Among the spirits remaining here in Pitru loka, there is predominance of sattvic nature, and they bless us if they are happy with our prayers. Also the mains or the departed ones, they are not free, they are not liberated. They also require cooperation in their progress to next plane of existence. So on communicating goodwill, they receive similar emotional support from us. So Shraddha is also prayer, mantras. Pitras or the ancestors also become more and more deserving of salvation by performing the ritual or virtuous guidance. Therefore, to cooperate in such a work for their salvation and to support their progress is our duty. And such cooperation can be provided by contacting the ancestors and instilling gentle feeling towards them, feeling of love, and by understanding their subtle signs and moving on the path of love. This is the meaning and importance of Shraddha and Tarpana, libation and offering rice balls, Pindadana. In the present time, we neglect our ancestors, our forefathers, our parents due to ignorance, because we don't know, or due to laziness, which is the cause of unhappiness, sorrow, dissatisfaction, and diseases in our families. It is also due to ancestors' discontent and sadness. And very often we find this in the horoscopes or birth chart as Pitru dosha, that our ancestors are not happy and because of that we suffer. Now, during Shraddha Paksha, in Hindu calendar, we have Krishna Paksha and Shukla Paksha, means bright fortnight, dark fortnight. So the dark fortnight is the day of ancestors, and bright fortnight is the night for ancestors. And new moon is the midday and lunch time for ancestors in Pitru loka. The means of providing food to the ancestors and to satisfy them is called Shraddha. So there are two ways to perform. How to satisfy them with our offerings? There are two ways. One is that we should perform fire ceremony in their name and offering oblation to the fire, or which is called Havya. Second is offering food to the Brahmin, qualified priest, because Brahmin is the brother of fire. They are born together. In the name of our ancestors, we should offer food to the Brahmins. If we take some examples from the scripture, it is said in Manusmriti, Vidya Tapaha Samruddheshu Hutam Vipra Mukhagnishu Nistarayati Durgatcha Mahataschaiva Kilbishat. Havya or Kavya means both are offering. Havya is into the fire directly. Kavya means offering food into the digestive fire of a priest or Brahmin. So these offering offered to the scholar and ascetic Brahmins in this world protects one from many kinds of crises, and in the hereafter from great sin, means even in the other plane of existence when we go, so we are saved. If you read Yajurveda, Vajasani Sanhita, the 31st chapter, 11th and 12th verse, Brahmano asya mukham asit, mukhad agni rajayata. Brahmin and fire have manifested from the mouth of cosmic being, and this is the mantra also we read in Purusha Sukta, Vedic hymn to cosmic being, which is in the Rig Veda. Now, so Brahmin and fire both are originated from the mouth of cosmic being Virat Purusha. In Shraddha, when the food is received by the Brahmin himself, or when it is offered into fire directly, so the subtle food merges with great cosmic fire Maha Agni and goes to Pitru loka in subtle form. Remember, the gross food remains here, but the essence of that food in subtle form it reaches, and it gives the fire, it is taking this food offered to the ancestor there in the Pitru loka. The ancestors get satisfied with it and bless the person who is performing Shraddha with wealth, children, etc. out of their greatness and kindness. How many types of Shraddha do we have? So in the scripture there are at least 12 different types of Shraddha mentioned, but in Yama Smriti 5 main Shraddhas are mentioned. It is said Nityam Naimittikam Kamya Vriddhi Shraddham Athaparam Parvanam Cheti Vigyayam Shraddham Panchavidham Budhaihi. There are 5 types of Shraddha mentioned in Yama Smriti, which are known as Nitya Shraddha, Naimittik Shraddha, Kamya Shraddha, Vriddhi or Nandimukha Shraddha, and Parvana Shraddha. Nandimukha or Vriddhi Shraddha, it is performed during 16 different types of ceremonies which we do in our Vedic culture, like marriage ceremony or buying a new house, or when the baby is born, or we celebrate our birthday. So all the auspicious occasions, we remember the ancestors and we offer Shraddha or Pinda with Vedic prayer. It is Nandimukha Shraddha. And apart from that, every year we perform Shraddha for our ancestors. Maharshi or sage Jabali has said, Shraddha in Pitru paksha gives birth to son, age, health, abundance of wealth, and fulfills all desires. When we perform Shraddha in 15 days or 16 days dedicated for the ancestors every year, we get all prosperity. And it is said in Manusmriti that among the Brahmins, invited for the Shraddha, ancestors reside secretly. Because when you give invitation to Brahmin for food, the ancestors reside in that secretly, like life energy. And these ancestors, because they are in the form of spirit, or you can say Vayu or air, so they walk. When the Brahmins are walking, they sit while Brahmins are sitting. So in the time of performing Shraddha, the ancestors come together with the Brahmins who are in the spirit form or in the form of air. They sit there, eat with those Brahmins. It is by Manusmriti. So after death, ancestors are with subtle body, and that's why no one can see them that they have come. It is not known for which soul and how long this soul will remain in Pitru loka. This waiting time is indefinite. Therefore, Shraddha should be performed for everyone. Because we don't know when the soul is going to take birth again. So it is our duty to perform for everyone in our family. A question comes to mind. What happens if the soul is reborn? Should we still perform Shraddha for that soul? Now, I'll give you an example. If you send a money order to your friend, and if the recipient is not living there at that address, then the money order will be diverted to the current address of the recipient, because we change our address many times. But if the address is not known, then what happens? Money order will return to the sender. Similarly, you perform Shraddha ritual faithfully. Gross offerings are not going to go anywhere. The fulfillment or contentment from the offering is to be experienced. If your ancestors for whom Shraddha ceremony was performed are staying in Pitru loka, then it is fine, they will receive it and they will be content. If they are not in the Pitru loka, then they will get the fulfillment of the offering in whichever plane or whichever species they are already born. Because Lord Aryama, the ruler of Pitru loka, will make this arrangement to divert your offerings to appropriate place where the soul is reborn. If your ancestors are nowhere, means in any of the plane of existence, they are not living there, that means they are liberated. Then you will receive the fulfillment yourself. Means what you offered, it will come back to you. So nothing goes waste. If your ancestors are nowhere, they are liberated, they will not receive it because they are one with God, but you will receive the result. We all have experience in our life many times that sometimes we get great satisfaction and feeling of contentment in the mind, because we don't know that Lord is giving us fruit of someone's offering at this time who may be our relative from another lifetime and performing Shraddha or praying for us. Let's consider another example. Suppose you earn money, and if your accountant donates that money, then who will get the result of this charity? You or your accountant? The accountant will also share some of the virtue to become an instrument in this charity. But the real result of this virtue will be received by you because the money belongs to you. It is necessary for you to earn money, but it is not necessary that only you have to donate. The person who has died and gone to other higher plane of existence has left his earning here on the earth. There is no doubt that result of Shraddha, Tarpana and donation will be given for him. From that earning will surely reach him. So whatever the person has earned, if we donate something from that doing Shraddha ceremony, the result of his earned money here, this charity will still reach that soul in other plane. In Hinduism, the son has right to father's property not because he is the son. This succession or authority is given to him because he is entitled to perform Shraddha. That's why it is said that he redeems the parents from downfall by performing Shraddha. Therefore, if one does not have a son, the right to property goes to one, whoever is entitled to perform Shraddha. In modern time, rules are changing. It is natural curiosity about how the food items given in the Shraddha reach the ancestors. Because according to one's individual karma after death, the life gets different stages in evolution process. Some souls, they become deity, divine beings because of their good actions. Some ancestors, some become Pitru, they remain in Pitru loka, and some become spirit or ghost, goblins, because of the heinous crimes or actions they have done. Some become elephant, someone becomes ant, some become trees, and some become even grass. So question comes that how an elephant's big stomach can be fed by a small pinda given in Shraddha. You are giving one rice ball here with the mantra, but the soul is reborn as an elephant which has a big belly. Similarly, how can an ant, a small ant, eat such a large pinda? And we know that gods are satisfied, divine beings are satisfied with nectar. How they will be satisfied with this rice ball, pinda? So in this regard, scriptures tell clearly, there is a mantra, Nama mantras tatha desha bhavantara gatan api praninah prinayatyete tadaharattvamagatan devo yadi pita jatah shubh karmanuyogatah tasya anna amritam bhutva devatve api anugacchati martyave hi anna rupena pashutve tranam bhavet श्राद्धन्नम वायु रूपेण नागत्वे अप्युपतिष्ठति पानम भवति यक्षत्वे नाना भोगकरम तथा. It is from Markandeya Purana, Vayu Purana and Shraddha Kalpalata. These three scriptures, they explain same thing. With the help of Nama and Gotra, means with the help of Nema and Gotra means clan, from which clan do we belong to. Vishwe Deva and Agnishwatta, these are two divine Pitaras or ancestors living in Pitra Loka. These two, they take, with the help of name and clan, they take this offering of Havya or Kavya. We discussed, either it is offered into the directly fire with oblation, or it is offered as food offerings to the Brahmin, the digestive fire of Brahmin. So these two divine ancestors, Pitars, they take the Havya and Kavya offering to your ancestors. And if your ancestor, if your forefather or parent, they have attained the place in among the divine beings, they have become divine or Deva, then this food offering will be obtained as nectar there. It is received in the form of grass if the person is born as cattle. If the person is born as serpent or snake, then it must satisfy itself by getting it in the form of air. In the yaksha yoni, celestials, if the soul has attained celestial place and in the higher plane of existence, then it is satisfied with the juice. And if the person is again born as human being, then he will get normal food. In the form of food, he will receive your offering of rice ball. So this is, in whichever plane of existence the soul is reborn, that type of food is transformed by our offering. So our offering is rice ball here, but it is transformed in subtle way and it reaches them in that form of food which they can take. How it happens? Just like a calf finds a forgotten mother cow in the cowshed in one or another way. Similarly, the mantra delivers the offering to the soul in same way to the other higher plane. The name, the clan, the devotion of the heart, and the intention, sankalpa, becomes the means of carrier of these offerings. Even if the soul have crossed hundreds of species, the result of your offering surely reach them. Another question comes, who is qualified to perform Shraddha? Can everybody do? No. Who is entitled to receive food in the Shraddha? Can everybody take food? No. So in this regard, the acceptance of Pitru loka and his ruler Aryama, their decision, compatibility of their rules is also necessary to be considered. Therefore, this decision that who can perform Shraddha and who can receive the food in Shraddha ceremony is made only by the scripture. This decision cannot be made rationally by the intellectual exercise of the people of this earth. The virtuous Brahmin with modesty, purity, and wisdom, and those performing prescribed rituals like Sandhya Vandana and chanting Gayatri Mantra, they should be invited for the Shraddha ceremony. You will ask that why only Brahmins should be invited? A simple logic. If you have a lawsuit in the court, then only lawyer can advocate there about your case, not a doctor. Suppose if you have to perform a surgery has to be performed, then you need a skilled doctor. There is no work of a historian at that time. So a qualified person is authorized person for a particular act is recommended by the scriptures. Many times people argue, it is all wastage. Why should we perform Shraddha? Why should we feed Brahmins? They are already fed, they are already rich. Instead of that, why don't we offer food to poor people? It's a very good idea. We must do that. But remember, offering food in the name of ancestor to Brahmin makes you free from your debt to parents. Offering food to poor people anytime, it is another charity which makes you free from your debt to the human beings. We discussed in the beginning, Manushya and Pitrarina. So both are different arrangements. Both are good, but both have different purpose. That's why, as scriptures tell, that who is authorized? A Brahmin who is virtuous, chanting Gayatri Mantra, doing prescribed rituals, and who is pure in conduct, is wise, is knowledgeable. Only that Brahmin is to be invited for the Shraddha ceremony. That's why you cannot invite anybody. You can feed anybody, but that is different arrangement to pay another type of loan, Manushya Nra Rina. One who does not perform Shraddha and Pindadana in the name of departed ancestors cannot be considered a Hindu. Pindadana and Shraddha have been instructed to give the power to the spirit to reach Pitraloka after death. Having reverence for our dead parents or forefathers, expressing gratitude is the greatness of our culture. As a result of these reasons, Hindus dedicate 15 days of the year to express their reverence, gratitude, and to express their feelings towards their forefathers, ancestors. Every year, it is during the month of September, 15 days dedicated for the souls. Even in many other religions also, they have All Saints Day, All Souls Day. All religions have, but in Hindu tradition, it's very elaborate and very logical process of offering for the ancestors. The Shraddha should not be completed only just as a mechanical ritual, but we should increase our true devotion and feelings towards our ancestors by remembering how much we have received from them. Also, don't forget your living parents and elders. Honor them, respect them, treat them nicely. The gross objects reach from one place to another with difficulty in a while, but this is not the case with the subtle elements. The ritual of Tarpan, offering water, Shraddha Pindadana, offering rice balls or food, it may not matter directly for the intellectuals. It's not important for them because it's beyond comprehension for the intellectuals, but its importance lies in the spirit working behind it to repay the loans and to show our gratitude to our ancestors. At this difficult time of COVID-19 epidemic, many people may not have been able to perform the cremation or the last rites properly for their family members who departed during this time. Many people do not have qualified Brahmins available to perform Shraddha. So keeping all these things in mind, for your convenience during this Mahalaya Shraaddha paksha, which is starting from 1st of September till 17th September this year, under the guidance of Swami Muktipriyananda Ji in Hariharananda Gurukulam Puri Ashram, by the expert Brahmins who are expert in Vedic rituals, we are offering the opportunity to perform Shraddha for your ancestors or relatives. For this, arrangements have been made to perform Shraddha and Tarpan during these 15 days. If you are interested, you can contact the ashram and get the full information. It is to help all of you. I have got a couple of questions, so I'll just finish it quickly. Why does Shraddha need to be performed? How performing rituals will help the soul on onward journey? I already discussed and explained that it is believed that God of death Yama himself has explained in scriptures the importance of Shraddha performed during this Pitra Paksha 15 days in the month of September. Hindu scriptures like Agni Purana, Garuda Purana, Vayu Purana have spoken about Shraddha and its importance for the peace of the departed souls. According to Hindu belief, Shraddha is a kind of karmic debt we owe to our ancestors. The souls of our 3 preceding generations reside in Pitraloka, which is considered to be a realm between heaven and earth, Bhu and Bhuvaloka. This realm is led by the god of death Yama and Aryama. So here our ancestors are not able to get relief from the sensory demands of the body, such as hunger, thirst, heat and pain. The mind and subtle body suffers there. Only the offerings and prayers of their succeeding generation can relieve them and liberate them of this condition and help them gain entry into the higher plane for onward journey. If the rituals are not done properly, it is also believed that the departed souls may curse their successive generations, which can result in Pitru dosha, bringing obstacles in their day-to-day life and work. Why should we perform Shraddha during Mahalaya and even death happened during some other month? It happens that death is some other time, but why should we do now in the month of September? In these 16 days of this Pitru paksha, from the full moon to new moon, our ancestors come to earth with the hope of getting the body or pinda. So they have expectation that there will be pindadan. So they come with this expectation. On the date on which the person is dead or person dies on that particular lunar day, tithi, anytime he dies, we perform the Shraddha during these 16 days. Suppose a person died on 10th moon. So on the 10th moon in the month of September during this Shraddha Paksha, we perform Tithi Shraddha for that person. If no one remembers the date, then we pay our homage and we offer Shraddha on the final day. We call it Amavasya, the new moon day, Sarva Pitra Moksha Amavasya. That is the day where we can, which is called Mahalaya, and this is a special day, full new moon day. On this day, we can perform Shraddha for everybody, for anybody. There is no restriction. Because according to belief, Mother Durga was incarnated on this day. Someone has asked this question, I am a Kriyavan. I sincerely practice Kriya. Should I also perform Shraddha? Of course, yes. Because it is your moral duty to pay back your debt to ancestors or your parents. Because although if you're practicing Kriya, so it will give you the spiritual advancement, but your duties are different. So your duty to pay back your loans or debts, for that you have to perform Shraddha. Along with your Kriya, you have to, just like when you are working, so you are practicing Kriya in your day-to-day life, but that practice of your Kriya is not going to fill the stomach or nourish your family members. For that you have to go and earn. Similarly, you have to perform your other duties and you have to perform your Kriya for your spiritual advancement. Both are different. Somebody asked that I am not a Hindu. Should I also perform Shraddha? Yes, we discussed that. It's not related to any religion. It is these 5 dates we discussed in the beginning. These dates are for the human being. Whoever is born in any religion, anywhere, we are indebted. So it is our moral duty, moral responsibility as a human being to perform these 5 yajnas or sacrifices. One of them is Shraddha for our ancestors. Another question is, my parents are still alive. Should I perform Shraddha to my forefathers? Now in this case, your father should perform it. The son does not have the right to perform ancestors' Tithi Shraddha in Pitru Paksha if the father is alive. If father is alive, if father is not alive, then you can do. But if father is alive and is not doing, the next one is your uncle who can perform Shraddha. If that is also not possible, then another way. If you wish, you can perform the other types of Shraddha, not during these 15 days on that same lunar day, but other type of Shraddha like Narayan Bali, Nag Bali, Parvan Shraddha, Nandimukh Shraddha. You can perform the Shraddhas in the place of pilgrimage for your ancestors. Another way I can suggest that you cannot perform Shraddha, but on that particular day when your fathers or relatives have departed, you can offer some uncooked food to a Brahmin or to the temple. That will also give you the result of offering same Shraddha or performing Shraddha. Someone had asked that, can someone else do Shraddha on my behalf? Of course, yes. If you are not present, then you can make somebody representative. So on your behalf, that person will take sankalpa, becoming representative, and he will perform on your behalf. But you have to provide the information. And this is what we are going to do in Balihi Ashram, that the priest will take sankalpa. So you have to provide name, gotra, and the day when the departed person has left. So they will perform. Sometimes people ask that, should I follow some disciplines when I'm performing Shraddha? Yes, if you are performing Shraddha yourself, then there are certain rules. What to do we have discussed, or you can find it easily, but there are some restrictions. I'll tell them. During Pitru paksha, all 15 days, it is better to avoid eating foods like non-vegetarian food, garlic, onion, or any junk food outside. Eat only homemade sattvic food. Just for a few days, or at least the day when you are performing Shraddha for your ancestors. Avoid cooking or eating eggplant. Don't use masoor dal or urad dal, chana dal, black cumin, black salt, black mustard, because they are not considered pure for the Shraddha food. And a person who is performing Shraddha ritual should not cut the nails, should not get the shave or haircut on that day. He should not wear dirty clothes. Also, person performing Shraddha should not take tobacco or smoke cigarette or consume alcohol. One should be disciplined in this way. Another thing, that on the day of Shraddha, avoid making physical relationship with your wife or husband. Follow celibacy that day. Do not tell lies or use harsh words or curse others on that day. Taking frequent meals on the day of Shraddha is not good. So just take one meal after you perform Shraddha for your ancestors. And if you are performing by yourself, then don't use iron vessels for rituals. Instead, use silver, copper, or bronze vessels. Don't use iron in any way of seating. Use a seat of silk, wool, or wood. Don't buy or wear new clothes or any new articles like car. During these 16 days of Shraddha Paksha, Pitru Paksha, we do not begin any auspicious event. If you have already bought a house, before this you can enter, but don't buy a new house during this period. So Shraddha should be performed in the daytime, usually by before afternoon. Noon time is good, but Shraddha should not be performed during evening, night, dawn, or dusk. So these are some rules. However, I'm happy to talk to you about this topic, Shraddha. It is our moral duty to pay back our loans towards the ancestors and parents, and also it helps them in their evolution process. Remember, what we do, it comes back to us. If we do Shraddha for our ancestors, then next generations will do for us. And it is also a way of helping each other. I am praying to God. Let all become happy and healthy, noble, loving, and kind. Let there be no suffering or sorrow. Let there be more love, peace, and harmony among us and in this whole creation. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you all.